should see some great ball movement with these two teams, Grant. Fantastic group of passers on each side.
They're just so unselfish. They play for one another. You can see how it keeps the whole team involved. And I'll tell you what, I just love watching teams that can pass like this.
The starters for Utah. Sexton and Markkanen out on the wings. Collins and Kessler there in the middle. And it's Collier in at the 1. Now here's Barrett. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Wow, the hammer by R.J. Barrett. How about that athleticism?
Kessler passes to Collins. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
I love this approach. Getting him involved early, and it's already paying off.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially. Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
On target from range. Collins has got 7.
And sometimes Collins makes this look so effortless, as if the 3-shot is just that easy.
Here's Quickly. Can't hit it. He's 0 for 2 now.
Cannot believe he missed that one. Ooh, I'm sure he can't either.
Something this Raptors team does very well is move the ball doors.
Yeah, B.A., this is an unselfish group of guys. They like moving the basketball, getting everybody involved. Amazing when a team has everybody touch it, how good it feels. Such a multi-talented threat on the offensive end, and you love his confidence.
Collins outside. Markkanen for 3. Nails it from 3.
And this first quarter has been ridiculous. They simply can't miss right now.
For Toronto, they've gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. Here's Walter. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. Doris, when we talk about home court advantages, the Jazz have amongst the best.
They do, B.A. You have to play at altitude. They're also a little bit isolated as well, so travel is hard. Let me tell you this, their fan base is loud, L-O-U-D.
And he's good on the second. Grant, would you say the Raptors are in the process of starting over?
You know, I certainly don't think that's the wrong thing to call it, B.A. Coaching changes, some big trades. They're shuffling things around and trying to start building something new.
Barnes finds Quickly. Here's Barrett. Puts up a 3. Sexton grabs the board.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
Let's go with a 3, and that's good. His first bucket of the game.
Man, that was fast. They're already up by double digits.
Wow, they've come out strong. Control the pace, assert their will. Nice.
Barnes, it's good.
And hitting from the mid-range here and early. I mean, really give the defense just another thing to worry about.
They're basically saying, you're going to have to guard us at every point on the floor tonight if you're going to have any chance.
Here's Kessler. Toronto making their last shot. Drains the triple.
What a way to begin this game. Dominating at both ends of the floor.
And give them credit for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
And Darko Rajakovic has called a timeout. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. teams deciding to change it up.
Make some noise for them again.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
Now that's how you capitalize on a screen.
Yeah, good positioning, too. Gave him a clear path to the hoop.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Darko Rajakovic, and I took the time to ask him about his strategy for Lauri Markkanen, and he said we know he's going to hit big shots and be physical on the floor, but we're going to make him work for everything tonight. I hope we can test every shot that he takes. Hope and hard work. Can't ask for more than that, guys.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Jazz leading by 11, and during the first few seasons of Emmanuel Quickley's career, he was seen primarily as a scorer, Greg.
Yes, but recently has blossomed into a more versatile threat. The leap we've seen in his passing has been especially impressive. He's a player to watch out for moving forward.
Here's Walter. Here's Barrett. And it's blocked by Kessler. Pass to Collier. On the wing, Clarkson. Here's the floater. And he sinks the layup. Clarkson's got his second bucket of the night.
And early on, they've been on a tear, just getting whatever they want offensively.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip, and guys are making their shots. That's critical.
And at this point, they're loving this big lead.
Absolutely. And they haven't really faced a lot of resistance.
And then it's Collins with the dunk.
The contact wasn't going to hold Collins down. He explodes into it and finds the shot.
The Raptors have gotten 5 of 11 shots to go. Here's Quickley. Utah grabs the miss. Markkanen looking it over. The three is up. Knocks down the triple. Markkanen's got 8.
Their ability to space the floor has been the story of this game.
And what surprises me is the defense hasn't done anything to take away that three-point shot. That has been their preferred weapon tonight.
Wow! Always fun to see point guards who can elevate above the rim like that.
Oh, a strong mindset and even stronger finish.
Boy, it's incredible how much explosive scoring ability can come from the lead guard position. That is a big-time play.
And Barrett has got the ball here for the Toronto Raptors. 17-point game. Here's Quickley. Great look, but off the mark. Utah with the ball. About 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Clarkson for 3. Gets the 3 ball to go. Give him 8.
Rise and fire away. This is Clarkson's attitude as soon as he catches the rock.
Barrett into the lane. And a missed layup.
A rare miss for him at point-blank range. That's one he'd like to have back.
For 3, Collier. And again, it's Utah with a 3. John Collins has been leading the charge for the Jazz. Hunting for opportunities, leading to 9 points in the quarter. Back to the game after this break. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Jazz.
Well, you got to be impressed with how selfless they've been so far. Their passing has been simply outstanding.
The other thing that's gone exceptionally well for them tonight is the shooting they've displayed from beyond the three-point arc.
On the floor for Utah, getting going in the second. George and Sexton in the backcourt. Then it's Jordan Clarkson, then it's Filipowski, and it's Sensabaugh in at the power forward spot. You know, Grant, an underrated area of improvement for Scotty Barnes has been his defense.
You're spot on, B.A. I mean, we've seen an elevated intensity from him on that end. Finding more denials, attacking the ball, really proving himself as an effective stopper.
Well, Grant, with players getting bigger and more athletic, do you support moving the restricted area out?
Yeah, B.A., I would. We've seen a lot of injuries when defenders slide underneath elevated players on the drive. So cutting down that risk makes a lot of sense. And there's a nice rhythm to his three-point shot. You know, George has a confident stroke.
And it's Shed missing. Here's Sensabaugh. And stolen by Boucher. Here's Shed. Takes it inside. Good on the shot.
In the NBA, you just can't let guys get to the rim.
Utah leading by 22. Sexton looking around. Oh, there's a killer two-hand slam.
Well, just 6'2", but the vertical for Colin Sexton, nicely done.
Quarter number 2 with just over a minute of play. Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Guys, Scotty Barnes said, my game starts on the defensive end, guarding anybody and taking pride in it. That leads to great offense in transition and just leads me to stay on lockdown throughout the game. Brian?
And Allie, for all his offensive gifts, that focus on defense is what makes him special.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
The Raptors have got 2 of 3 shots to go in the second. The open shot by Barnes, and another basket for Toronto.
How about Scotty Barnes getting that jumper off the bounce so quickly the defense can't get there in time.
Here's Clarkson. Albaji with a rebound. The Raptors have gotten 3 of 4 field goals in the second quarter. Pass to Shed. And from the field after that one, 3 for 4 now. Utah leading by 20. Here's Clarkson. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Clarkson's got 10 points.
Well, Jordan Clarkson, a nice, efficient look there. Boy, that'll help your percentages.
Here's Shed. George defending. Barnes with it. He's got 6. Off with the layup. The Jazz have gone a terrific 4 of 5 here in the second quarter. Doris, I'm going to give you 3 names here. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Pete Maravich. Which one is the greatest player to ever wear a Jazz uniform, you think?
I'm not going greatest player, B.A. I'm going greatest tandem in the history of the Utah Jazz. John Stockton and Karl Malone in pick-and-roll play were poetry in motion.
The offensive rebound. Shed, that's good.
Well, just it's easy to say, this guy wanted it more, creating the second chance opportunity and cashing in.
And so Will Hardy calls for the timeout, and we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. So Toronto ends up going with a new group.
Substitution on the court.
And it's Utah with the ball. Pass to Collier. Now Markkanen. The 3. His 4th make in 5 tries. Solid start for him.
Well, this has always been Lauri Markkanen's calling card, right? A 7-footer who can space the floor with that 3-point shooting ability.
Quickly from outside. Kessler with a rebound.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
Hey, from beyond the arc. Hits the trifecta. Kessler's got 6 points.
In terms of offense, they've been the more efficient team by far.
And I think because of that, they've gotten the better looks to start this basketball game.
Shot is good by Barrett.
R.J. Barrett trusting the jumper in the catch and shoot. Boy, if he's consistent with that, turn the lights out.
Kessler passes to Markkanen. Takes the assist and lays it in. Nice setup. He's got 13.
And just shredding apart the defense with his passing. He's helping to pace this offense so well.
And I think they count on him for that. He is a tone setter, extremely unselfish.
And just an incredible effort on the offensive glass.
Wow, follows it up with the putback to finish the play.
A growing aspect of George's game. He's working to become a strong facilitator.
Pass to Mobo. Now Barrett. Kicks it to Quickly. Down to 5 on the shot clock. For 3. And again, Toronto with a triple.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Here's Collier. 5 points in the game. And that one's good.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly and capitalizing.
Kessler against Pirtle. He tries for 3. Markkanen for 3. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist. Markkanen's got 8 points in the quarter.
Yeah, he's in his bag from beyond the arc right now. You see his confidence.
And I think the defender knows once he gets cooking, look out. The bucket looks awfully big to him right now.
Pass to Kessler. 5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. From outside the arc. And again, it's Utah with a 3. 16 seconds left to play in the first half. Quickly outside. And no good. The dry spell continues. Here's Markkanen. It's good! It's good at the buzzer! Wow!
Makes his selection just in time. Well done.
Well, finishing quarter strong. Every coach preaches it. Nice work.
And so it's the Utah Jazz just dominating the opposition as they maintain a 36-point advantage. And they've been shooting the lights out from the arc. All those threes have this poised for a blowout. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. It's been quite a game for Lauri Markkanen.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far, unstoppable.
The Raptors shooting just 42% so far in the game. After their title in 2019, the Raptors have struggled to stay among the league's elite scorers.
Well, think about it, BA. The driver of that title success was Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry. Both of those players are gone. Very hard to replace players of that caliber. Almost inevitable they were going to take a step back.
Barrett is the 3, and Barnes will play the 4. Emmanuel quickly is out there with Walter, and it's Pirtle in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Here's Collier to the wing, right side. For 3, Collins drops in the 3. Collins has got 12.
And this is a part of Collins' game that's really evolved, hitting jumpers and catch and shoot.
Looking to get back on track, and it's quickly with a miss. Utah's gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. Kessler passes to Collins. Back to Kessler. Hey, puts up a 3. That one is off. And Barrett has got the ball here for the Toronto Raptors. Fires from deep. Connects from downtown. Barrett's got his 3rd basket on the night right there.
You can tell some players like that rhythm dribble. R.J. Barrett using the pull-up jumper. Go ahead, R.J.
Knocks it down from distance.
This is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
3rd quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Kessler passes to Markkanen. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play opportunity. What growth from Lowry, Markkanen, Doris, the 2023 Most Improved Player Award winner.
Yeah, you think about it. Markkanen entered the league at just 20 years of age. You forget how young these guys are sometimes. But Markkanen finds a great situation where he's a featured part of an offense, and then he makes an all-star team.
And for a scorer as prolific as Markkanen, he doesn't need the ball in his hands too often.
So many of his scores come off assists. So just a great sense of when to get into space and become available.
Now here's Kessler. He's got 9. Buries it from 3. 12 points for him. The Raptors have gotten 3 of 6 shots to fall so far in the 3rd. Here's Walter. Kessler with a rebound. Kessler's got 7 rebounds in the game. Markkanen finds Collins. Here's Kessler. Another 3 for Utah.
They are unconscious from outside, and so far the defense has had no answer.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Utah has gotten 12 of their points this quarter from deep. 4 of 6. 2 points. That one goes.
Well, you know, it's already tough to play like this at home, but it's even tougher to do so on the road.
Boy, just sheer dominance, the ability to step into enemy territory and flat-out take over. This is impressive.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
The Raptors are still developing. Coach Darko Rajakovic said, we're focusing on offensive execution and player development. It's about what we need to do night in and night out, regardless of the opponent. As we grow, we'll teach more schemes for opponent preparation. BA step by step.
Yeah, it's a process, Allie. Thank you. So it's Toronto now. After the basket by Utah. Quickly. And there's the slam! Dunk to finish it off.
A brilliant dunk, and he hangs up there for a while, too.
Like he's posing for the camera. He's just hanging out, posing for pictures, just making himself at home. And that one drops. Collins has got 10 points in just the 2nd half.
Well, when he's dialed in like this, Collins can be a serious difference maker on offense. Hopefully he can keep it up.
And that one's good. Quickly. For Utah, they've gone 8 of 10 in the 3rd and looking in control. Markkanen, the pass to Sexton. Here's Collier. For 3, Collins. Pirtle grabs a miss. The Raptors have gotten 6 of 11 attempts to fall so far in the 3rd. Pass to Walter. Back to Barrett. From outside, off the mark. And the Jazz with possession here. For 3, Collins. Bucket. He's now 9 for 11 after that one.
and just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over, so you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Barnes has gone 3 for 4 from the floor tonight. Well, the Jazz are one of just 10 NBA franchises to never win a championship, Graham.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to believe considering they have the 4th best winning percentage in NBA history. Think about it. If it weren't for one Michael Jordan, they'd probably have 2 rings. All alone from mid-range. You gotta think he's kicking himself.
Sexton passes to Markkanen. Kessler with it. He shoots a 3. That shot, no good. Now here's Quickly, tightly guarded. Utah with the rebound. Collins has got 4 rebounds in the game. Sexton passes to Markkanen. 3-pointer. And Kessler gets a 3. Kessler's got 9 points now in the quarter.
Man, he's on fire. Playing patient basketball, not forcing shots.
Here's Barrett. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Well, as usual, this guy cooking on the offensive end, but right now the other guys on his team have got to step forward.
Oh, from deep. The shot won't fall. Down low. Oh, Kessler with the block. And so it's the Utah Jazz showing no mercy and just piling it on, looking dominant and focused right now. It hasn't taken them too many shots to get their points. They're winning with efficiency. Back after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And he definitely deserves the award. Reading the defense like a point guard.
He's got the size to survey over the top of the defense and find the open man. That was beautiful.
And as we head into the 4th, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the 4th. They've got Jordan Clarkson, Filipowski out there with Kenyon Martin. Then there's Keontae George, and it's Sensabaugh in at the 3 spot.
Whoa, that man is laser focused. Now, that's bad defense for a team that has a long way to go to catch up.
Well, credit the offense, though. If you're going to come with casual defensive effort, this team's responsibility is to take advantage, and they do.
Blocked! Here's Abaji, inside, picked it out of midair. In transition, here come the Jazz. Clarkson for 3. Clarkson missing again. Here's Shed. He shoots again. Out of bounds as Toronto keeps possession. Williams is checked in for Martin.
Jazz substitution. Number 5. Cody Williams.
4th quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Mobo. And again, Toronto, no good. For Utah, they've gotten just 1 shot to fall out of 3 attempts in the 4th. Clarkson for 3. Buckets. He's now 6 of 10 from the field.
Absolutely ruthless. He's not about to start showing mercy now.
Well, when it's closing time, he's trying to lock the door. He's been going all night.
And it's Shed missing. The Jazz have gotten half of their attempts to fall in the 4th. 2 for 4 now. And that one's good. Clarkson.
There's only so much you can take away, and you want to try to stop Jordan Clarkson on the drive so he gets the face-up jumper to go.
Here's Mobo from 8 feet away. Pass to Abaji. Second chance shot. Good. He hits the jumper.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
Boy, the three-point arc has been a major factor in what they've done here tonight. You love the aggressiveness.
Here's Shed to the paint. Played it in with a nice touch off the window.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
Pass to George. Here's Sensabaugh. Clarkson for three. Oh, and again, it's the Jazz from deep.
Well, Jordan Clarkson can be a little bit streaky at times, but right now this guy is on fire.
To the inside. Here's Mobo. Good setup. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
Well, this is the kind of pass that gets everyone excited. It's also how you build great team chemistry.
Clarkson for three. Can't get it to drop.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
And it's Jordan Clarkson with the foul. That's his first foul.
His first personal foul. First team foul. Substitution on the court.
For three, Barrett. Toronto the rebound. Here's Quickly. Comes up empty down low. The Jazz have gone 5 of 8 from the field so far in the fourth. Here's Kessler. Nails it from beyond the arc. Kessler's got 12 points here in the second half. Toronto's gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the fourth quarter. Quickly passes to Pirtle. Here's Walter. He's covered by Clarkson. Walter, good.
If the defender is giving him that much space, the points are inevitable.
For Utah, they've gone 6 for 9 here in the fourth quarter. Another three for Utah.
And no surprise here, right? This guy is not only a gifted player, but he is so smart on the offensive end.
Here's Quickly. The shot's good. Quickly's got 19 points. There's 1:59 left in the final quarter. To the middle. Here's Springer. Banked it in off the glass.
Boy, outstanding pass and execution. They'd love to see Clarkson do that on a consistent basis.
Quickly outside. There's the three. Clarkson grabs a miss. The Jazz shooting a sensational 78% from the field in this game.
And we think of Clarkson often as a scorer, but there, making the unselfish pass, just great work.
And here's Quickly. He'll bring it up for the Raptors. That one doesn't drop.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Jazz.
And everything seemed to go their way today. They were firing on all cylinders, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., this was the kind of performance you relish as a player. Just a very impressive win.
Here's Barrett. And he tries it off the glass, but it's no good.
Clean look from mid-range. Coach will probably want to run that play again.
Martin, the pass to Markkanen. And here's Clarkson. This one for three. Another three for Utah.
Showing us that killer instinct right now. No letting the foot off the gas for them.
And you want to save your best for last. Tonight, they've done that and then some.
Scotty Barnes checked in for Toronto.
Second team foul. Substitution on the court.
There's 47 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Here's Quickly, and he hits the jumper. Well, he's been waiting a while for that one. And here's George. Clarkson for three, and he gets it to go again. He's connected on 10 of 15 now.
And they knew it wasn't going to be easy to win on the road, but they've controlled the pace on this one.
And sometimes when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
The shot no good. And it's Utah with the ball. Here's Filipowski. So we see the Jazz taking the W here. A statement road victory. So impressive.
Statement indeed, BA. It was in enemy territory, but they controlled the game and took the crowd completely out of it. That's how you win on the road.
Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
Well, tonight, Colin, what a game for you. When you think about your development as a player, what are you most proud of?
I feel like I've accomplished a lot, gotten better. That's the biggest thing. Just continue to grow each and every day when I'm in practice. And my teammates, they've been helping out tremendously, and I appreciate them for that.
The sky's high for Colin Sexton.
All right, Allie, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Doris Burke, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, and all of our crew, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching this 2K Sports presentation of the NBA. And time now to introduce our player of the game, Walker Kessler.